game 2 this evening is over to you, Bully, for some Tiny Troopers Global Ops launched today on PS5.
Yeah, so we were lucky enough to get a code for this one. I jumped into it early in the week and had a bit of a play. It's a follow-up to about a 10-year-old game, Tiny Troopers. Can't remember the
It was
title
iOS and Android, was it, the original?
Yeah, the back half of the title on that one. But look, it's a twin stick shooter is probably the best way to describe it. And if you haven't seen it or want to have a look at it, make sure you jump on the channel because there's an install and a Let's Play that we've thrown up there in the last day or two of it. It's sort of interesting. It's a bit quirky. You can see on the screen there, it's sort of got a cartoony sort of vibe to it as opposed to, most twin stick shooters that you get on especially console and stuff when you talk about Hotline Miami and Dead Nation and those sort of games that are like brutally violent sort of twin stick shooters. This is just a bit of it's almost, as I said, cartoony fun. There's no gratuitous violence. It's just a bit of a giggle, to be honest with you. And
kid-friendly twin stick shooter.
Yeah, and it's designed primarily. I only played it single player, where you can get a companion that'll help you out, but it's designed for multiplayer. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out if you get a couple of friends in there that you can sort of maneuver yourself around. Because I found even fairly on in the second or third level that I was playing, it does get fairly hectic when you're doing it by yourself, and especially when you sort of get surrounded and swarmed, you really need a second person to sort of coordinate with, where one of you can jump on one side or, the top or bottom of the screen or left or right, however you work it out, just to sort of start clearing the enemies. Otherwise, you just become overwhelmed really quickly. You have nowhere to go and you just lose your health. But it's
Can
also
I ask you, mate, just on the mechanics with you, when you're single player and your AI co-op companion, just a heads up really for anyone out there who plays it, you've got to manually repurchase, if you will, like in-game currency, that character. I reloaded the level a couple of times, couldn't work out why I was then trying to solo it and only lasting half as long. But then you've got to go back out to the headquarters, go into the barracks and hire somebody else. Back to you, Bully. Yeah,
and I think it's got like a quasi-permanent death mode type thing to it in respect of your companions. So once they die, they're dead. Like, so you can play with them and you get that experience with them. But if they die, that as you said, you have to go back and basically hire someone else to go out with you. So it sort of adds that bit of finality to it once your offside is dead. But there's a little bit of an upgrade tree with weapons and skill set and stuff like that. But it's not overly confusing, and there's not a lot in there, to be honest with you. It's just you unlock essentially currency within the game depending on how quickly you work through the level and how quickly, or you sort of string enemy defeats together in, as well as picking up things around the screen. So look, I don't know about playing it long-term first person. I think it'd be a good game if you had a couple of people that wanted to jump into it and were into that sort of twin stick shooter thing. But as mentioned, it's probably aimed at a younger audience, just with the graphical style and that sort of stuff. So that's probably the only reason I'd recommend it, I would have thought. If you're just going to, as I said, if you're going to sit there and try and play it yourself, I don't think it's really that type of game. Unless you're a massive twin stick shooter fan and you're desperately hanging out for something.
It is a lot of fun. I am a twin stick shooter fan. I can see myself eking through the single player offline co-op, but I can confirm my 9-year-old went hands-on with this and had a blast playing it as well. So to your point, very kid-friendly, and it resonates well with them. Yeah.
And I don't think you've gone hands-on at all with your Yankee.
No hands-on at all. I think I played something similar, not that like, I think one might have even been the first one, but no, there's too much in my backlog at the moment to even probably think of playing this.
Fair enough. The only other thing I'd point out is I really love the dual sense implementation of the triggers. They've got like a gentle pull and the reverb. They've crafted it well, that forced feedback in the triggers, but that's my only final point. Any final points from you, Billy?
No, that's about it for me. As you said, it released today, so look, if you're a massive twin stick shooter fan, it might be worth looking at, or if you've got young kids that you want to sort of introduce into this sort of genre without going overly, violent, then this might be something to look at. In terms of, is it a must play? I wouldn't have thought so, but if you're a fan, have a look.
Indeed. And on screen there, you can see the upgrade paths, the co-op companion. You can see I've lost him there. So it's X'd out. Oh, Bully has, excuse me. It's his footage. And then, yeah, it's very basic upgrades. But fantastic game. If you like twin stick shooters, 2 big thumbs up from me. I will certainly be going hands back on with it. Oh, that was luck.
Hey, that's something. Old Uncle Donkey. Gee, Donkey.